Top fresh signature scents for summer. I chose these fragrances based on three things. Number one, they need to be really fresh in a really nice way. Number two, they need to be versatile fresh scents. Number three, they need to be likable and mass appealing scents. These are all perfect to wear as your signature fresh scent during summer. So let's start with this thing right here, and this is a fantastic mix of freshness, woodiness, and the whole thing has a gorgeous amber warmth and shine to it. You get smooth citrusy freshness from lemon and bergamot, and you also get a fantastic spicy kick. But the main thing that sets Dior Sport apart from the rest is the frankincense and its gorgeous sort of a resinous feel. The combo of those two adds something truly unique to this woody and fresh mix. The performance of Dior Sport is definitely approved. This is an incredibly versatile scent for summer that most people most definitely will enjoy getting away from. What a fantastic scent Dior Sport is, and this is a great choice as a signature scent for summer. The Wiser Wildland is a fantastic one, and this is definitely among some of the very best fresh scents for summer in that line. Voyage Cologne basically takes a bit of that fantastic white DNA but pushes it in its most intensely fresh direction with a focus on aromatic and green freshness. You get a gorgeous dose of fresh mint together with a fantastic dose of sage. All that freshness sits on top of what I think is an incredibly smoothly woody base, and the whole thing in the dry down has a bit of amber warmth and shine to it. I mean, I don't know exactly what it is about it that to my nose is intoxicating. There's something else besides its gorgeous freshness that I just can't get enough of. Performance is a bit above average. I'm getting pretty decent longevity from this, but it's definitely not a beast mode kind of scent. Why Ice Cologne is incredibly versatile. It's a fantastic choice as a signature scent for summer, and when it comes to mass appeal, this is another Wiser Y that easily gets compliments. So moving on to the epic Prada L'Homme line and to this. This is basically the slightly lighter and slightly fresher take on L'Homme. You still have that fantastic almost airy kind of powderiness from Iris in this, together with a bit of floral freshness from Neroli, and you have a fantastic dose of ginger cutting through as well. And this spicy, floral and powdery freshness rests on top of what I think is an incredibly smoothly woody base. Prada L'Homme Low and the OG Prada L'Homme are still among some of the very best powdery freshens in the world. An extremely clean, mass appealing and versatile fresh scent that definitely has quite a bit of uniqueness to it. Most people will most definitely enjoy getting away for Prada L'Homme Low, and I do feel it's a great choice as a signature summer scent. So moving on to the fantastic Artisan line and to this, which I feel is not only a great fresh scent but also one that is incredibly underrated. So I usually talk about Artisan Pure. This is also citrusy fresh like that one. So both the original Artisan and Artisan Pure have quite a prominent dose of citrus. However, Artisan Pure, at least to my nose, has more of a bitter kind of citrus, whereas the one in here is more of the sweet kind. You get a really nice and really smooth dose of sweet citrus together with what I feel is a fantastic dose of floral freshness from orange blossom and jasmine. All that nuance and sweet freshness sits on top of what I think is an incredibly smoothly woody and softly musky base. The reason why I chose the OG Artisan over Artisan Pure is because of its more sweet citrus, which definitely makes this a bit more mass appealing. So as a signature for summer, then more people will enjoy getting a whiff of. This is definitely, at least to my nose, a better choice. And you can often find 125 ml for around 30 bucks. So moving on to this, which is definitely among some of the very best freshman's fragrances Chanel ever released. And it's basically a combination of an intense but incredibly smooth dose of lemony freshness together with a fantastic dose of a slightly sweet vanilla. And that freshness and vanilla sits on top of what I think is an incredibly creamy and smooth dose of sandalwood. It's almost like lemon pie or lemon cake meets creamy sandalwood, and the whole thing is a bit powdery. Chanel Allure Edition Blanche is extremely mass appealing and an extremely likable kind of scent to get a whiff of. The performance is a bit above average, however, this is definitely not a strong scent, but I do get decent longevity. Like most Chanels, this is definitely not cheap, but what a fantastic scent this one is. So moving on to this, which basically gives you an intense but incredibly smooth dose of citrusy freshness, and you also get a gorgeous dose of freshness from geranium. This is a fresh, bright and incredibly smooth dose of lemon and bergamot that sits on top of what I think is a very smooth woody base. And what a gorgeous and incredibly smooth dose of citrusy freshness this one is, and I do feel this is a great choice as a signature scent for summer. This is probably among some of the most mass appealing citrus focused scents ever made. However, there's one bad thing about Boss Bottled Bold Citrus, and that is the performance. It's not super weak, but you will definitely have to reapply it every now and then. So moving on to the house of Versace, if you go through everything fresh that Versace has ever done, this is definitely the most versatile. You get an intense and nuanced but smooth dose of freshness that sits on top of what I think is a very smooth woody base. That woody base is softly sweet and softly musky. But the best part of Versace Pour Homme is how its nuanced kind of freshness is combined with a fantastic dose of floral freshness. I mean, this is something I just feel you need to put your nose to in order to understand it. This is incredibly versatile, incredibly mass appealing, and something that just works on any occasion throughout the summer. And I do think it's a great choice as a signature scent for summer. So moving on to the incredibly unique and fantastic Kenzo Homme line. And the reason why I chose this instead of the more tropical and sweet versions is because I do feel this is a bit more versatile. I mean, there's something absolutely fantastic about that unique marine freshness from Kenzo. So Kenzo Homme Santal Marin basically combines that unique Kenzo marine freshness together with quite an intense but incredibly smooth dose of woodiness from Sandalwood and gaiac wood, and you get a gorgeous dose of aromatic freshness and brightness from lavender cutting through it all. This is definitely a woody and fresh scent for someone who really wants to stand out. When it comes to performance, pretty much the entire Kenzo line is a fantastic high performing one, and this is definitely among the strongest ones in this video. So moving on to an incredibly affordable, fresh, signature worthy scent for summer. But what a gorgeous dose of freshness this is, and it definitely has quite a few similarities to the a lot more expensive Dior Homme cologne. So I do feel that if you're someone who likes Dior Homme cologne and scents like that, you will most likely absolutely love this. Man Eyes is intensely but smoothly citrusy fresh. You also get a bit of fresh musk, and the freshness and the fresh musk sits on top of what I think is an incredibly smoothly woody base. It's like a fizzy lemonade and meets a bit of fresh musk on a creamy woody base. This is a banger cheapie, signature worthy for sure, and simply a great choice for summer. So moving on to one of the most classy and elegant freshman fragrances ever made. This basically combines a lot of different kinds of citrus, and you really feel that nuance when you spray it on. It definitely has a bit of green freshness to it as well, and you also get quite a prominent dose of white floral freshness. And all that nuanced freshness sits on top of what I think is a softly woody and musky base. So unique, so classy, so elegant, absolutely signature worthy. And I do feel Acqua di Parma Colonia Essenza is for a man who wants a masculine, fresh signature scent for summer that is quite different compared to most modern scents out there right now. But I gotta mention that I absolutely love using this for layering as well. Try this with Tom Ford Grey Vetiver and Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue for an epic compliment combo. And speaking of Tom Ford Grey Vetiver, this is the next one. While some of my absolute favorite fragrances definitely have a bit of vetiver in them, I'm not the biggest fan of overly vetiver heavy or overly green vetiver focused scents, with the exception of this. Grey Vetiver is definitely one of the classiest, freshest and smoothest vetiver focused scents I ever put my nose to. You get an extremely smooth dose of citrus together with a bit of aromatic freshness and brightness, a prominent but very smooth and very likable dose of vetiver, and all that sits on top of what I feel is an incredibly creamy, smooth woody base. Grey Vetiver is one of the few chosen ones when it comes to vetiver in my collection, and I do feel this is a fantastic choice as a signature scent for summer. So next up we have this, which I feel is not only incredibly classy, elegant and sophisticated, but also quite underrated. To me, there are three main parts to this. The first part is that it does have a bit of spicy warmth. That spicy warmth is combined with a nuanced dose of freshness. Its spicy part and its fresh part sits on top of what I think is a beautiful dose of woodiness, and it definitely has something quite green to it as well. It's sort of a spicy warmth, and how it's combined with its nuanced kind of freshness, and how everything is grounded with its woodiness, and how everything has a bit of amber warmth and shine to it is fantastic. Voyage de Hermès Parfum is perfect for someone who wants quite a masculine, extremely classy and elegant fresh signature scent for summer. Make sure you check out my top 2 fresh fragrances from 8 fragrance brands video over there. Please drop a like and subscribe, and I also want to know your thoughts on the fragrances I talked about in this video, and if you have a signature scent for summer.